Hope to see you later at the synagogue.
You will. We'll be there.
What does 9/11 mean to you?
Everything why I'm here. That's why I serve. To honor those fallen.
Well, may God bless the memories, and thank you for being there as first responders in case of emergencies and helping people every day. God bless you.
Thank you. We'll see you later.
See you later. I'm in Publix and I was talking to two first responders when suddenly they got a call on their radio saying, at this moment, the first plane hit the Twin Towers. Let us take a moment of silence to remember the 3,000 innocent men, women, and children that were murdered. Today at 12 o'clock at the synagogue, we're going to have a memorial, and everyone is welcome to commemorate the tragic events, but also honor the first responders who gave their lives to save complete strangers. And let us be inspired by their heroism. Actually, when I was in Publix, I looked at 7 different newspapers: Palm Beach Daily News, Palm Beach Post, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, New York Daily News, New York Post, Sun Sentinel. And every one of these 7 papers did not have one single word on their cover about 9/11 that only happened 21 years ago. Yesterday's Torah portion, we read about Zachor, the commandment to remember. Torah says, remember Amalek. Amalek was the evil nation that attacked the Jews right after they left Egypt. And the Torah says, remember that there's a war against Amalek in every generation. 3,300 years after the war of Amalek against the Jews, we stand in synagogues around the world every year and remember the war against evil in the world. That's the only way we persevered as a Jewish nation and overcame so much evil, because we never forgot that we must fight evil. And how do we fight evil? So Rabbi Israel Lau, chief rabbi of Israel, who came from 37 generations of rabbis and survived Bachomald at the age of 6 and came to Israel. At his son's bar mitzvah, he said something very powerful. He said the verse says the war against Amalek continues midor ludor, from generation to generation. But he interpreted it a second way. He said the war against Amalek is won midor ludor, by transmitting Jewish values from generation to generation. The reason we are here in Ona and Mezagan is because we never stop teaching our children and our grandchildren from generation to generation the values of goodness and righteousness and justice and peace and kindness, all those values of Judaism. And that's true for all of us as a nation. The way we will overcome terrorism, whether it's from without or from within, the way we will overcome evil regimes, the way we will overcome so many enemies around the world who seek our destruction, is by standing for something, standing for righteousness, standing for goodness, standing for democracy and freedom, and remembering to teach and instill those values in our children and in our grandchildren, and perpetuating it from one generation to the next. You know, on this day, there was an unprecedented occurrence, and that is thousands of people from all over, whether it was the Twin Towers, or whether it was the Pentagon, or whether it was the planes that were hijacked, called their loved ones and left recorded messages. And thousands of people said the last 3 most important words to their loved ones: I love you. When they were facing death, all they could say was, what really matters is, I love you. Let us live every day with those words to our loved ones, to our friends, to our neighbors, to our community. Let us stand for the principles and the values of our nation. And let us be inspired by all the thousands of random acts of kindness that took place on this day 21 years ago. And especially by those heroes who ran into the burning buildings against the instincts to run away from the burning buildings to save others. When we see someone in need, they may not be in a burning building, thank God, but if they need our help, we should run towards them, never away. And when we turn to each other and embrace one another, then we know that our nation and our values will persevere. Have a meaningful 9/11.